Well, folks, welcome to it. It's going to be episode 2, I guess, now of Lynam Up. I've started a pod because, well, you know what? I'm at that stage in my career. I don't know what my writing process is. And I feel like podcasting is where I get most inspired. Didn't realize I had these in. This episode, what are we going to talk about? Okay, this episode is Uncle Lazer. He was just crashing at my house for the weekend of shows we did, and my studio's sitting here, and it would be a complete waste of time not to have him on. So we get into some very funny stuff about his childhood and what just a piece of garbage degenerate he was as a kid. And he really is a felon, and you hear him say that in jokes, but we crawl into his teenage years and, you know, being the attention seeker that he seems to have always been his whole life. You hear about his past in this episode, and you realize that he has straightened up some, which is hard to imagine the character he was back in high school. But we get into some very interesting stories with Lazer that I haven't heard him talk about on any podcast. So it was a nice sit down. It's not the funniest thing you'll ever see, but it is wild to hear about just growing up in that part of Texas and then ended up in the oil fields. And then just, if you'd have told him, what he's doing now, back then, he wouldn't have believed it. But, anyway, it's a very fun episode. What's going on with me this week? Okay, so let's unpack this video I made for, actually, I made the video and posted it. I made the video for J-Dubs, my partner at Comedy Break-In, and some other comics because we had here's the scene. Let me set it for you. We had a show scheduled, a family-friendly show, which would be my first ever doing a clean set. I was hosting a family-friendly show at the Edge in Homewood, and we got there, and it is just right out of the gate during. I get there 3 hours before the show and set up 75 chairs of my own that I have. Okay, so I get all those set up, and it's in the heat. It's like 90 degrees. I'm out there setting up all those chairs. Pretty meticulous, I'm making sure the rows line up. I get kind of anal about that, but I get it looking kind of good. 75 chairs with a row down the middle. Looks great. And then I go to set up a camera. And I'm noticing, a lot of kids around. I set up the camera in one place, and I'm like, no, it's like this tripod could get kicked over, knocked over. I've had a lot of cameras damaged by falling over. So I'm very weary about it now. So I'm setting it up in three different places, and I'm just not finding one. I put it on the porch at Corbo, and the manager comes out and is like, I don't know about putting it there. We're going to be seating people there. And so I just already am on edge about, God, there's a lot of kids here, It's a lot of kids. And even though this is a family-friendly show, this show was not scheduled, was not designed for kids. It's not kid jokes. It's adult. It's a comedy show for the parents. Their kids can hear it because we're not using profanity and stuff. But so I go back into the dressing room, and I'm just kind of chilling out there, and the other comics start filing in slowly but surely. And we all just get this, we all are kind of concerned about the amount of kids that are out there. I've been there before. I've done comedy shows at the bar right attached to it. And there's just never been this many kids. It's like T-ball team after softball team after baseball team after T-ball team. I mean, it's Vestavia, it's Vestavia Hills, it's Homewood, it's Mountain Brook. I mean, you name it. And then there's also kids that aren't affiliated with any team, just roughhousing and playing. They're running around everywhere. And it's getting closer and closer to showtime. And I'm like, man, this is kind of bizarre. I make an announcement, 5 minutes till showtime, and the kids just all run. When I make this announcement, they all, like, I'm talking 60 kids, run and sit up at the front. Like, they're ready for the comedy show. And we're like, man, what are we going to do? This, This isn't a show for them. We can tell them these jokes, but they're just going to get very uninterested very quick. So we're back there in the back, and kids are starting to crawl on the stage. Numerous times I'm having to go up and unplug the microphone because they're up there yelling in it, and they're grabbing the mic stand and playing with it, spinning it around the stage, and kids are standing on the stool, and they look, I don't even know how they got up there. The kid was so small, I pulled down. I pulled down several kids, but we started going, man, I don't think a comedy show is going to work. There's just, the people that want to see it can't even get down here. There's nothing but kids crawling all over the barricade, under the barricade, going nuts. But we push it back 30 minutes and we get to the point where like, I don't think it's getting any better. We're just going to have to roll with this. It's 8:30, 8:40, somewhere around there. And the show's supposed to start at 8. So we just decided to go out there and, for lack of a better term, we just go out there and riff with them and see if we can entertain the kids the best we can, because the parents are literally ignoring us. They're either ignoring us or not wanting to come up close because of how many kids. And they got baseballs, footballs, they're throwing balls everywhere, and and they're it's nuttier than a squirrel turd out there. So we just make the decision to go up on stage and start, riffing with them and playing music that they can dance to. And so Vince goes up, our headliner Vince, and he's great. He's got kids that age, 7 and 9 years old. So he's feeling it. And he sees, the jerseys, and he's like, oh, we got some Spartans out here. And they're like, yeah. And we got some Patriots over here, and they make a bunch of noise. And then we start doing, we kind of pivot into kids karaoke. And it's killing. It's killing, but the kids are becoming less and less manageable because they're so excited. They're having the time of their lives. I know by that video I posted, it sounds like it was a prison riot. They were having fun. There was not a kid that was there that wouldn't tell you right now, I had the time of my life. They did. We made sure of it. We actually turned a possible negative situation into a huge positive. So let that be out there on record, because based on the video, it just sounds like it was all doom and gloom. It was not. It was a great night for the kids. But we're doing this for an hour and a half, maybe hour and 15 minutes, somewhere in that time swing. And we're not getting any help from parents, and it's getting harder and harder to manage when kids are fighting over the microphone, and some kid at some point threw a glass up in the air from out in the audience, and it busted on the stage. We had to stop the music then. And we're like, hold on, everybody. We got to wait for a second. We got to clean this up. And so all the kids here is clean this up. And they get down there and start raking it with their hands. We're like, no, you can't do that. You're going to hurt yourself. And we're like calling for parents over the PA. We're like, parents, if your kids are down here, we need you to please come down there and get them. We're not even mentioning the comedy show that we're supposed to be running right now. So we don't know what to do. The kids slowly, the more stern we get about stuff, they slowly start going back to their parents. And what's their parents' problem? They leave. The parents are like, well, let's just get out of here. So it's filing out a little bit. We've got about half the kids there that we started with. And a few couples are coming up and saying, hey, I thought there was supposed to be a comedy show tonight. And we're like, yeah, for sure. But, look at what we're managing right now. Look what we're dealing with. And so they were like, you know what, though, if you want to see a comedy show, let us see if we can put one together and go do it inside Corbo. That seems like a better option anyway. So we go speak with management at Corbo, and they're like, yeah, that's great. Y'all come in there. Y'all can do whatever. So we quickly pivot out of entertaining the kids and playing music for them. We kind of shut it down. We're like, all right, that's been it. Everything. It's been over an hour anyway. And so we kind of unplug the mic and take everything with us because we've got to go use it inside that bar. So we go perform a comedy show, And when I come back out, I come back out while Vince is still on stage, and I see the chairs like that. Because I was thinking while I was in there, I better go out back and start loading up these chairs because we're already here way later than we're supposed to. And when I go out there, I see that scene. So I just pull out my camera and I film that saying, look what these pieces of shit get. I only planned to send it to my partner. And then the more I sat there and watched it the next day, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to post it. I'm going to post it because it really was a big problem with the parents just ignoring the kids. And it's that hand them an iPad generation style of parenting that drives me crazy, especially when we're yelling over the mic, please come down here and help manage your kids. We don't know who belongs to who, but this is getting out of control. It all fell on deaf ears. And so anyway, I posted that video and I didn't expect for it to end up on every Facebook group and Instagram. I don't know. I got reached out to by so many people. A friend of mine was like, hey man, I can turn this into the news if you want. I was like, buddy, I don't think it needs any help getting out there into the ether. So that's the story. I mean, do we have a new business model now? Kids karaoke that we're going to do out there? You bet your ass, because, what we do is we just have the parents Venmo us for their kid to get up and sing a song. And that's essentially what we did towards the back end of it. We're like, because so many kids were on the stage. There's at one stage, 25, 30 kids on that tiny stage. And it was crazy. They all have a different song they want you to play, and they're screaming. They want it now because I guess the side of town they live on, they expect when they want something that it gets done for them pretty quick, just snap their fingers. And so we're dealing with kids that are getting frustrated about song requests. But anyway, it was something else, man. It's like at this stage of comedy, you just don't know what you're getting into. So these kind of things, we just kept laughing and shaking our head going, this is like the worst parenting I've ever seen in my life. We can't do a comedy show. We could never. We did have, a ton of kids sitting up front row, but not one parent. The parents aren't even paying attention to them. They're not even looking at them. They were either dropped off, which sounds crazy for 5 to 7, maybe 9-year-olds. They were either dropped off or their parents are up there on the deck getting drunk, just ignoring them. But either way, man, we pulled it off. I was actually very proud of what we did. The staff at the Edge was like, hey, this is crazy. Y'all really made lemonade out of lemons here. And I don't think that gets said enough. People that aren't there are kind of critical, obviously, of the chairs being stacked up. But, the silver lining in the whole thing is that the kids had a great time, for sure. And maybe we should have just Googled street jokes that are clean and dad jokes and gone out there and told those to the kids. But I think they had a better time singing and dancing and cheering for their team. And we even had a dance contest out there. So anyway, that's just an explanation of because a lot of my friends just kept saying, what's going on? Half the comments are, where did this happen at? With it stamped all over the video where it's happened at. But that's that same adage of when you're a band, you can't put the name of your band enough on stage. People will still come up and go, what was y'all's band's name? I mean, it's plastered on the kick drum, on the backdrop, on every amp, on the drum riser, on our shirts. I mean, it doesn't matter what. People are still going to come up to you and ask you, man. But anyway, I'm bloviating here. That's just, let's get to the episode. What do y'all say? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the single mother slayer, the prince that was promised, Uncle Lazer.
Yeah, dude, because if you got it set up correctly, you get a producer in here, you could like watch videos on there.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm trying to do. But I can't get anybody to produce. I can't anybody.
Can you imagine if you were like my age and started doing this shit?
Hey man, we've been doing comedy about the same amount of time.
No, I mean but my age. Like if you started when you were 30 instead of the band stuff.
Oh, I know. I think
Can
about
you
that
imagine
all the
where
time.
you're at? Like if you would have been Because when did you start drumming? Are we started? We're on.
Yeah, we're on.
Welcome back to another
21.
episode of Hanging with Lyman. And
Lyman.
hanging with Lyman hanging down. And no, so how old were you when you started drumming?
Oh, 21.
And you started that band Lyman?
Lynam.
Lynam.
It's this long of us hanging out and you can't get my fucking last name right,
Relax,
dude?
dude. Cool Camelot sword you had in your drawer over there. So wait, why'd you use your last name as a
I
band
didn't.
name?
The story is, I was terrible when I first started playing
Hey,
drums.
right here. Put your fucking, I podcast all the time.
Yeah.
You want it about this much. You have it way too low.
No, not with my voice. Trust
Okay,
me.
all right.
It gets it.
All right, it's your studio.
Hey, one thing I know about is podcasting
Your
and drumming.
studio. Yeah.
But
Where's
yeah,
your camera?
they're both wide and I just
You cut them down? Okay.
cut them in. But yeah, I just was not good at drumming. And so we were just going to be a temporary band. And I was just booking gigs. And Jacob goes, just put it under Lynam. It's not going to be, I told him, I said, put it under Lynam. It's not going to be a band. And Jacob goes, no, we're going to keep the band Lynam because you're a terrible drummer. And if you don't get better, it'll force you to get better because you'll
Who
drag.
said that? Your lead singer?
Yeah, he said.
Yeah,
if
that's the smartest shit. I like that
he
guy
goes,
a
you'll
lot.
drag your family's name through the mud if it's going to
If
be
you
like.
couldn't make your own band's last name, like the last name of your own band, you're not in.
Yeah.
That's good.
And so that's how it worked. And I really didn't. Inside Baseball, I didn't play but maybe 2 songs on our first album. So.
Wow. The 17 people watching this are so surprised. But wait. But think about it. Because, look, for those of y'all that don't know, David's been going on the road with me. And Cassio and him been coming out. I met him at the same time. I mean, dude, you're about a hustling son of a bitch. I'll give you that. You do more for the comics in not only the Birmingham area, but all around this fucking area. Creating a scene, creating shows, running the fucking... the Hack and Forth, which is basically a ripoff of Kill Tony, which is cool.
People started calling it Kill Phony.
Kill Phony. And, but yeah, I mean, but you're giving people an outlet and shit. He drives. He's always got he's bringing cameras. When he started bringing cameras, now we got 3 cameras at the shows now. So yeah, dude, if you imagine, if you'd have gotten to comedy then.
Oh, I know. I don't.
Where
even
you
want-
probably
I
where
didn't
you would
wanna
have
think
been?
about it. Yeah.
Where do you think you would have been? Probably like.
I mean, I would just be
what's
farther
the dude
along.
what's the dude that overdosed and died? Greg. What's his name? Greg.
Geralda?
Yeah, that's where you would have been probably.
Yeah,
there you go.
actually. I don't want to get fame at like an early age. Like even now, would you hang out with 21-year-old self and have a good time with him? Or would you be annoyed by him? You're like, I can't hang around with 21-year-old me.
21-year-old me was a wild card, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you were trying to hang out with him now, you'd be like, man, he's just
I don't
too-
know. Maybe not like best friends, but I'd have been like, hey, dude, I was always about partying. And I remember when I became a freshman, when I was a freshman in high school, my dad and them, they got a house in like the nicer part of town. My dad was finally making a little bit of money. And with my stepmom, and they went out on some fucking trip or something, and I threw a fucking fat ass party there. Invited like 4 of the high schools, and I'm a freshman. All these seniors are coming, and I'm like, yo, yeah, motherfucker, because I do drugs and I party. What's up? You know?
How
I
old were
remember
you?
I was fucking 15. And
Oh my God,
I remember
dude.
the cops came. Everybody scattered, jumped the fence, ran off. Obviously, I did too, but I'm like, fuck, I own the house, got to come back. So my dad and her out of town, but they called my mom to come get me, and she came. She was cool. Mom was cool, but I remember my dumbass friend, Clay Cook. He's a sheriff in the hometown that we live in now.
Shout out
Clay Cook. Everyone scatters. He goes and hides in the see-through shower. It's like that, glass pane. Like, as soon as they walk in and turn lights on, they can see you, dummy. Like, what a fucking retard. But, no, dude, I would have partied with me, but.
Dude, I had friends that threw parties, and your friends are just evil. Like, he was trying to have a party, and then by the time his parents got home, hide the fact that he had a party. But, man, our friends were pieces of shit. They would
hide shit,
They would
yeah.
smash beer cans, put them in a phone book, hide some in the microwave, and close the microwave door. That way so he's got the house all spick and span, and just randomly throughout the week, his dad's
They find a fucking beer can in the couch cushion.
Milwaukee's best cans under the couch and shit.
Dude, I remember high school party. I'm probably like a junior or senior. And at this point, I'd been partying. Fucking party's been raided. I knew how to get out of this shit. I knew if you can't V-line and make it in the first wave, if they hold you out on the fucking sidewalk, you're going to get a citation, right? So I remember a lot of people scattered, but they stopped the whole living room, and I was in the living room. They made us all come out and sit on the curb, okay? And I knew what they were going to do because I didn't been in this process too much.
Pour out everything?
Well, yeah, that's a fucking given. They're going to do that. But they sit everybody on the lawn, on the curve, in this rich neighborhood in Pecan Grove. And there's about 40 of us. And I know their procedure. What they're going to do, they're going to get everybody's name and bullshit. They're going to ask you to call your parents, okay? If your parent, and I think you got to be over 16 or 17, but if your parents don't come and get you, they're writing you a citation for minor in possession or alcohol, right? And they're going to take you, they're going to charge you with it. They're going to take you, they'll do what they can, they'll round you up and
Like
take
20
you.
people, they'll do it for
They'll take you in and fucking to the holding cell. They'll do it. They're bored and they're just rich. It's in a richer neighborhood and they're making examples. So I was like, look, my mom and them are not getting up to come get me at 3 a.m. So there's about 25 to 40 of us, I don't remember, sitting on the fucking front curve of the lawn. And I just start going, smells like bacon. I just start making like pig noises.
And your friend's like, shut the
Yeah. And they're like, dude, stop. And the cops are, who said that? Who said it? Because my mindset is I want them to isolate me from the group. And I know they're not going to put me in the car because they still got to conduct all this bullshit. So they sit me behind the cop car on the other curve. So their backs are turned to me as he's going through getting all these names. And the second cop that was kind of babysitting me walked over to help him do something. Well, when he did that, I took off running. I jumped the fence and I got to the next neighbor's yard in the front yard and I jumped and hid in their bush. And I hid in their bush for 2 hours watching cops up and down the road looking for me. Finally, they get done with it and they leave. Everybody got citations except me because they never got my name and I separated from
Nobody
the group.
squealed on you. Said
Nobody,
that
no one knew
name
who I was really. You know what I'm saying? Because I always went by. Before it was Uncle Lazer, it was Box Man. I would always put a fucking 12-pack, like empty box of Coors Light and cut holes in it and play beer pong with it. So I was Box Man. And my buddy Shot Sinker and Box Man. Yeah, we were
People
fast.
see you with success now and they go, is that fucking Box Man?
Yeah, I
dude?"
know. They're always like, damn, he's either going to go to jail or he's going to get famous.
Yeah.
So,
Man, I wish, back to starting comedy earlier, I wish I would have started so much earlier. I mean, don't you though?
yeah. But
Given that, like, I used to tell people, man, I don't envy Lazer. Like, getting success before he learns comedy, man, I wouldn't want to learn comedy that way. Now I see how it pans out, and I'm like, I'm full of shit. I didn't know anything. It's a good way to learn it.
I think at the age I was at with the job and career that I had, you know, because you get thrust in that flame and that light and you realize real quick, oh, fuck, you can't just fake this shit. You got to put in work. I don't think my work ethic at the time of me being in my early 20s would have translated because my maturity level wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I would have put in the work like I did at 30 to 35 versus 22 to 27 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I would have had enough life experience and I wouldn't have had enough, you know, because you get a little bruised ego and pride and shit and it like hurts your feelings. Like, fuck them people. I'd have been like, yeah, fuck these people. But when I'm 30, 33, I'm learning this. I'm like, no, I got to be better. So let's go back to the lab. Let's go do these fucking mics in these rooms you don't want to do. I don't think I would have done that in my early age.
Yeah.
If I would have got that level of success right off the bat. So,
You don't really fuck with mics, though.
I mean, yeah.
Well,
'cause
your mics are hand-picked mics. They're not like the mic you would go to
yeah,
around
I'm
here.
not going just to get stage time. I'm going to go to something that has value. You know, and that's the thing. And that's the one thing I like that I got. And it's not that I skipped it because you still go and do shithole rooms. They're just with your fans. But then that hurts you because if an open mic, they don't know who you are and you bomb, they don't give a fuck. They'll see you down the road and be like, oh shit, cool. But these are paying customers that come out and they're like, yeah, that was a waste of our time.
We got a babysitter for this piece of shit.
We drove for this. You know what I'm saying? And like they don't come back. And you see it a lot in the secondary runs of markets you've already hit. Like, you know, Tampa, that should be like my bread and butter. And it has become now, but in the beginning, that's where I first did my first gig is that Florida area. And I'd go back and make that second round and I'm like, fuck, dude, you can see the ticket sales drastically were lower because they've already, once they've seen it once, they're not going to come see that shit again.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have to, that's the true test of like a guy that's famous online for not doing comedy and then books a comedy tour is that second round.
That second round. And they see the numbers slide. And that's when, you know, that was the biggest uphill battle, digging yourself out of that hole. Because then you've got to not only, you know, show people that you're a comic, but you got to show people who don't think you're a comic, just an internet guy, that how much you've grown. And it's hard for people. Once they've seen you, especially comics. Comics hated me. And they still hate me to this day. I know the ones. I made a list. I got a notebook. I know the ones
on everyone.
I do, because when I get there, I'm gonna be like, "Told you so," and I ain't gonna fuck with you. And I have like a good. And there's people who back in the day I know talk and run that mount talk shit, and I still help them the best I can, you know, because I feel like it's the right thing to do. But yeah, dude, I can tell there's motherfuckers that are snarky. I know what they're saying, you know.
Man.
But
now look at you. Netflix,
not
two
even
times in Netflix
not
in
even
1 week.
selling out fucking 70s here at Birmingham. Yeah, dude, great.
Well, they put too many shows up.
You think so?
Yeah, dude. Actually, tonight's going to be full.
Yeah, tonight.
First show last night was full. Second show wasn't
Almost
full, but
full.
almost full.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you put 30, 40 people in there, it's a damn show. It's cooking.
Yeah, and he was telling me, he's like, yeah, man, old boy that used to work at the Creek now runs
Chris, yeah.
Chris. He was like, yeah, man. He goes, you know, he did better sales than such and such. He goes, yo, David Taylor had to cancel one of these. You know what I'm saying? Just 'cause.
I think that was out of health reasons. But also
No,
it's defeating.
he said it for ticket sales.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like, look, man, it's a different game now because all these old guys, these older school guys, old heads, you know, back in the day, there's a different way of coming up and growing up in the scene, and you know, you post a flyer, people know you're in town, but like, dude, you don't just post a flyer anymore and it sells out, even if you're famous. You know, even someone like David Taylor, who's nationally known, you got to run ads, you got to get shit dialed in. That's why that punch up
Dude,
shit.
you're so rare in the fact that you run ads. So many comics that I book are just like,
Dude, like when I did Jordan Jensen and Ian's podcast the other day, we were talking with their producer, and she's like, I don't know about running ads. I go, wait, you're not running ads? She goes, no, I think it's a waste of money. I go, waste of money? I said, look, I've run ads where they don't work, and yeah, it's a waste of money. But if you're going to go through Punch Up, shout out the guys at Punch Up, I said, they got a system. And I said, I've seen a drastic increase since I signed with them and started running ads from. I'm starting to sell out more places. I'm going back to cities where I've only done 80 or to 100 and do 200. I was like, those ads work, man. And I don't know why you wouldn't do it, because especially if you do a full weekend, you get a guarantee. Use some of that guaranteed money for fucking set-aside ads, because I think the best club offhand, there's probably 3 of them I can name, like that are offhand. They're a comedy club that knows how to run comedy shows, promote comedy shows. That's Zany's in Nashville. They're fucking, they run ads, they're ad guys. They have their own media side, meta company that does it. It's great. Them, Olsen Run in Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah.
They're fucking phenomenal at running ads. Great club. And those, you know, outside of Zany's, fucking Olsen Run and The Well in Bakersfield, they do a phenomenal. The Well in Eugene, they're run by comics. And when it's not like a fucking, you know, a franchise Helium or Improv or Funny Bone, you got these one-offs who, you know, these people they own the club, but they were comics first. They understand that niche, and like they really take care of you. So like, you know, that's why when we went to Atlanta, we went to Helium the other night. The little manager lady, I've seen her at the bar when she worked at the Helium in Philly.
Yeah.
And she said she got the GM spot down there. And I thought that was a nice Helium. And then the staff, like it's good. And then like they know what the fuck's going on. We walk into a good comedy club, because you go into some shithole ones. Yeah, I've been in a bunch of those.
I remember you were doing
too.
mostly breweries, and you go,
Yep.
I got an agent that's going to put me in clubs, and that's going to be a game changer, because people start talking in the audience and chirping. Comedy clubs come up and go, we're going to tell you one more time. And buddy, you're out.
When
and
you
we
ain't got
mean it.
nobody policing it, it's a motherfucking, it's a fight. It's tooth and nail fight. Because, dude, and even when I was at the Tacoma Comedy Club up there, it's me, CJ, and Marco. And, you know, and look, they told me later, hey, sorry, you know, and I know what it was. So, like, you know, you do your first show at 7:30 Rock. Then you got your 9:30 show. Well, this Saturday, now they usually have people line up out the door for the next show to start. Well, the Mariners were in playoff baseball, and it was when they went to the that game that lasted like 16 innings. So they're let the people in the bar like while the game, because they got TVs.
Oh my
And
God.
so they're drinking that's the entire time. So by the time this show starts, it's a heater. You can feel the tension in the room because they want to get drunk and rowdy. Dude, see, Marco's out there, and about 5 minutes into it, the one guy in the crowd goes, fuck you, I hope you die. We're here to see Uncle Lazer. Like, that's what and I'm like, dude, they got a guy, you know, bless his heart, older guy, slick back white hair with a ponytail. His shirt says security on it. And I said, hey, security man, go do your fucking job. Tell them boys, if they don't shut the fuck up, you know, they leave. And they kept doing it. I go, hey, man, get them the fuck out of there. He goes, okay. And he went out there and goes, hey, man, I told them to leave. I go, what happened? He goes, well, they're not leaving. I go, what the fuck you want me to do, dude?
Yeah.
I'm about to go on. Your security. So, dude, luckily, I met my boy Ryan. He's pitched for the San Francisco Giants, 6'4", just handsome hawk. And then I met this big, giant black dude at the hotel bar. I was just bullshitting with him, drinking before the show. And he just got off one of those crabbing boats, like world's deadliest jobs. And I was like, yo, homie, well, you know, we cutting up. I was like, yo, why don't you come to fucking show with us tonight and hang out? And he had a big bag of cocaine. And so he came. So I know these two dudes are in the back. And I got on stage and go, hey, listen up, motherfuckers. I said, a lot of unnecessary, loud, fucking roughhousing bullshit been going on and said, I ain't gonna stand for it. Next motherfucker that fucking has something fucking funny or goofy to say and don't shut the fuck up, I got these 2 big pipe hitting motherfuckers in the back and they will escort you out to your car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as I'm doing that, there's these 2 girls start fist fighting in the crowd right
Oh
next
my
to them.
God, it's
Dude,
a
it was the
chick's
Wild
now.
West, bro. It was a Wild West.
Some gigs are
All
gonna,
the other shows are great, but that one show, and you let them drink, and at breweries, nobody's, yeah, dude.
I know, man. A lot of your fans, as a guy that MCs for you, a lot of your fans I start noticing off the top have never been to a comedy show before. So that means, like, you know, every comic has their own path to being successful.
Sure.
You're pulling people out of trailer parks that have never gone to a fucking comedy show before.
And like, dude, a little bit of that discouraged me because look, comedy enthusiasts, like comedy purists, they don't really like me. But they're starting to come around too. But I'm also opening a gate to a whole other side of people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, have never been to it.
It's like Tiger Woods. He got all these
He
black
got, all
kids.
he got all those inner city kids into golf.
Right.
I mean, seriously, and that's what it is. And you kind of look at it like that, but also in the early stages, it makes for a hard show. You
It
know?
sure as shit does, man. You got to go out there and grab them. You had somebody thrown out in Alpharetta. You didn't have them thrown out. They just on top of the shit at Helium, Atlanta.
When?
A guy over stage right. was
Oh,
just
yeah,
checking.
because I remember Casio checked his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I checked his ass. He checked his ass. Man, there's only so much you can do without losing the whole room. And, you know, it's one of those things where I had a headliner once go. I came back in. I was like, man, they're just not good tonight. And he goes, hey, man, don't ever. I won't go say who it is, but he goes, don't ever tell the headliner that they're not a good room tonight. And I was like, that's usually the first question any fucking headliner asks.
I'd want to know.
Everybody wants to know.
I'd like to know.
This guy was such a prick, dude.
I'd like to fucking go in there. And that's why I asked you, how are they? And you tell me, and I'm like, all right, so now I know mentally what I'm going to start with off jump.
How are you going to
Just
break
set
that
tone.
ice? How
I'm
you
going
going to
to set
grab
tone.
them?
I'm going to set tone real quick. Yeah, I like to know. I like to. What I don't like is the thing I don't like when I have people. I did a showcase show, Uncle Lazer and a friend in Austin a while back, and I won't name names. It's not a piece of shit, but
Yeah,
Look,
I want to name this guy so bad, but I'm not.
like you can be dog shit, okay? And I can like you and I'll put you on and you can fucking eat a dick, all right? It's part of it. You're gonna do it. I still eat dicks all the time. Not a big deal. But you cannot come off stage and be fucking delusional.
And say you crushed.
You cannot be like, oh yeah, they were great. I crushed. And I go, did you? Did you? You know, because I don't do that. Because if you're delusional with yourself, you're never going to get better. If you surround a lot of these social media dudes I see, and you know they want to be comics now, and they don't ever make that leap and transition over. Is because one, they got a bunch of people around them that are yes man, like oh god, he did such a great job, and they're delusional in the sense is like yo dude, if you're not, and I see it with like guys. Successful comics, like bigger comics that are bigger than me, upper echelon, when they are not in a comedy club working shit at least 2-3 times a week, and they get this ring rust, and then they come out and have to do something like on a showcase show, a real world show. I even see guys at Mothership that just strictly only perform at Mothership and don't do the other clubs around town, and they get out of that little cocoon of comedy that is that conglomerate machine that just packs people in. I mean, it's rare that you have I've had a few stiff crowds at Mothership on the mics, you know, like back in the day. But for the most part, if it's a show, you're on it. Even if it's like Saturday night, the 11 o'clock show or whatever, like they're still good. You know, so it's hard to like, you know, get stiff crowds in the Mothership. But, you know, you got to branch outside of that because that is like the mirage of fucking, you know, like everyone can crush when the crowds are hot. It's when
it's almost impossible not
it's
to.
almost, if you're a professional comedian and the crowd is hot as fuck, you should go out there and slay.
Right.
But when you get in those rooms that are stale and still, and you have to kind of
Figure 'em
fight, and you lose that. When you don't sharpen your tools and you leave them dull in the shed, like you don't realize, like, hey man, I need to. Oh shit, this ain't just hey tell my jokes, get my laughs, stop, pause, hit my tags and my punches. It's like I'm gonna have to get crafty with this.
You got to pivot.
And you got to grab them, and it's out of your wheelhouse if you're not practicing it. So,
Yeah, man. And also, it's good that you don't just do Austin.
yeah,
Because going out and doing both sides of the country, I've seen stuff in your set, and I don't even ask you anymore because it's not in your set anymore. And I just have to assume, well, that shit doesn't work on the West Coast. And if it doesn't work on the West Coast, I don't want it if it doesn't work everywhere. You know?
yeah, kind of. Well, a lot of it's verbiage too. Like, but like a perfect example. I had that Jew joke, and I did it in New York, and it crushed in New York. And it's relevant because people know when I say acidic, I mean Hasidic, and like
Right.
they tie the shit together, and it works. Orange juice Jew, that's hilarious.
Right.
But dude, I said the George Strait, like the thick black girls popping their ass in a circle to our Lord and Savior George Strait. I say that in New York, no one knows who George Strait is, right? And that's King of Country.
Really?
It just did not get any. Especially when I said, you ain't seen the light of the Lord until you seen a black woman pop her pussy to Amarillo by morning. No one knows who Amarillo. They'll know who George Strait is, but they did not know what Amarillo by morning was.
That has to throw you for a fucking
And
loop.
it fucks you up. You're like, okay, can't do that here,
Yeah.
Because it wasn't. Now, if it were my show, my fans, they probably would know.
Yeah.
But it was just at the stand. I was doing a showcase. Show at the
Oh,
stand,
yeah, that makes
And it's all
sense.
different kind of people in there. And that's when you got to, all right, because I did it in the small room first, saw that it didn't hit, went to the big room and did it. And I didn't do it in the big room. I just kind of pivoted out of it. So, yeah, it's making adjustments on the fly.
That's why some comics go up under a different name so their people don't show up and they can go, oh, this definitely works. Have you seen them do that at the stand? DeStefano and some of them will sometimes go up under a different name just so they make sure their fans don't show
So they can
up.
see, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see if this stuff really works because people give you a ton when you're.
But see, what I like to do, and maybe it'll get to that point, but I every time I think I'm fucking getting great at comedy, I'm like, I can run new shit off the top with a new crowd, and then it just eats a dick, and then I feel like a piece of shit. But what I like to do, my little realm of it is, I like to do all my newer shit at my own shows, okay? Because when they're gonna laugh at you when you piss, shit, or fart, okay? Like, but there's a baseline of laughter that
They give you charity.
They give you because they like you, right?
Yeah.
But with that, you stay in rhythm. You see what I'm saying? Like, saying new shit is tough because it's new. You don't really know where the laughs are yet.
Your confidence is not there in your voice.
So in order to get through the full longevity of the joke, it's better with more enthusiasm when you have confidence because you think you're doing good. Whereas, and you do that in front of your crowd, and you record on your phone and you go back and listen to it, you can hear the bigger pops in some of the tags and the things. And I'll take that out and I'll be like, okay, that works. I know this will work in a regular crowd because of the pop on this. But I wouldn't have got like to that pop without the emphasis and the fucking, the momentum of being carried by their laughter till that. Because if you do that, that's why I think fucking open mics are hard. Because if you say something funny, it doesn't elicit a correct response. And then you're going to be like, oh, no, that doesn't work. Well, it works. It's just...
There's a gap where it doesn't.
But
you're heading in the right direction.
And then you polish everything that you had and you take that in front of a crowd that's not yours. And that's when you really hone it in. But you got funny parts in there. And then you can figure out the funny of the rest with the crowd.
Is that why you like 4 shows like you're doing this weekend? Because you're like, by the first show and the last show, you're like, I've got something in the middle that I'm working on that I think I've about got it finished.
Yeah, I mean...
If you only got one shot...
Yeah,
in a market, you're not going to come back.
I don't like doing 2 shows a night. I really hate that. I really would just wish it would be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 1 show, bigger room. Just because by the time you do, the hour, you gearing up, you do the hour, you come off stage, you got the adrenaline, you go out and you're like cordial, you meet the fans, you come back down on a personal level. Then you got to go back, psych your shit back up, go back into it. And by then you're exhausted because that's taxing. Going from here to here, back to here to here. By that time, when I'm here and I come down at the second time, I don't even want to go out. That's why I was like, David, let's just go home,
That was a record last night, everybody.
Yeah.
I've been out with him, I don't know how many times, and last night he's like, let's go home. And I looked at him like, you mean that? I can't believe
But
it.
what I didn't like when I was in Atlanta, I was with the college burnout boys, and other people came. We had a great time with them, like the whole doing the baseball stuff. And, there was a lot of shit that from that day that I wanted to talk about, with the shit with them. And I touched on a little bit, but it's still nuance because, that's why I had old boy open up. Like I had Burnout do like 5 minutes so they could get a reference point of who I was going to be talking about. Cause like up front, I did like 15 minutes of trying to work their shit. And I did that. And I'll never do that again. And I will probably use that haircutting joke where that dude tries to convert me to Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, after I smoked that fat ass tube. And I just want a relaxing haircut. And he's telling me about I need to be a warrior of God. Yeah. Like that, there'll be legs on that. I could use that, just not topical there. But I ran a lot of topical shit for them because I knew they were there. And it fucked my rhythm up. It really did. I look back and I'm like, fuck, I should have. Like last night's shows, that's why I told you last night, I thought Birmingham's, these 2 shows were better than the Atlanta show. Not because of just anything in particular, but because I ran a bunch of shit that I'm probably never going to run again just to appease them and impress them. And I feel like it was lackluster on my part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you got tonight, you're doing it in front of the mirror tonight. Don't forget. Remember that?
What?
We're pulling back the
Oh,
curtains
yeah.
where you can see yourself while you're doing act outs with the.
Oh, that might be super distracting, but I can't wait.
No. I mean, you'll be watching yourself in the mirror, but that will help out a bunch. I think.
I need one more beer. Where they at, dude? I'll grab it.
I'll get it.
You get it? We'll just cut. We'll speed up this part.
A Corona Light's not.
Now, they suck, but that's okay.
Beggars can't be
dude,
choosers.
this
You
is
are
great.
actually Lazer is sitting on the couch that he routinely has sex in when he
No,
stays.
I've
in the
never
house.
had sex here. Only in that bed in the back room.
Yeah. Lauren goes, you ought to bring Lazer up as the guy that has more sex under your roof than you when he's here. Yeah. I'm a little out of shape.
From what?
You couldn't take the cold plunge today. Lazer does the cold plunge,
about
40
45.
seconds, and he's out, dude.
I freak out.
That's crazy, man. If it's mind over matter.
I don't have that. My breathing patterns are rhythmic because my heartbeats are rhythmic from all the cocaine.
No, when you get in, you can't breathe right. I can't breathe right for 20 seconds. If I were to get in that thing right now, I would just. But man, it's such a shock to your system.
Yeah, it's freezing cold.
Yeah, I just want to hear you sing Amarillo by Morning as you're getting in.
Oh my god, dude, that shit's cold.
Well, look, dude, two times on Netflix in 1 week.
Yeah.
Is your mom not shitting herself that's like a big accomplishment?
I don't
right?
think she watched it, to be honest.
Really?
No, she watched it. Yeah, she liked it. She thought I should have moved on. Hell, I thought I should have moved on. I didn't like the Kill Tony one. The Kill Tony one was lackluster, but live, it was great. Like, everybody said live did really well, and you could feed. But, like, I don't know if those big arena shoots, it just doesn't transfer over to the television side.
I don't
Like,
know why they don't just take a hot episode in the can, because there's some that have stood out.
Yeah.
Like just a hot Monday night episode, and then just put that out, because that's essentially what the show is. It gets overproduced. I don't know why they put out that overproduced.
It just
slick.
doesn't come off. Like, that Jew joke slapped live. I was getting laughs, and then they cut out some shit in the joke, cut out some shit in the interview that I was like, because I told the shit about the child predator ring about me finding them shirts and that got stolen from me.
Yeah.
And they like found them at this, like they set up a predator ring. Like 9 homeless dudes showed up to have sex with this 13-year-old girl, and they're all wearing Uncle Lazer merch.
I remember when that happened.
And I'm like,
that burns you bad, dude. You hadn't had shirts since, have you? I mean, I can't remember you bringing that.
I mean, I do need to gear up. I just signed with Rockware Merch.
Yeah.
The guy, the guitar player from The Used, he like runs it and shit like that.
Oh, they'll drop ship it
Yeah,
for
they'll
you.
drop ship. And that's why I got with them. So they just got my website up, and I just okayed like 4 designs. I got one. It's like in that one where I'm like got that big ass dip in. I'm drinking that Happy Dad, and it's my curly hair, and I made it like the Spider-Man thing, like when they're like
Yeah.
that. So it's one of them here, one of them here. I'm looking back at each other, and it goes, for every beer, there's a bag.
Do they send a guy with it to sell it?
They will, but I just usually have like, you or Kaz or whoever's on the road, we just all go out there with it. But yeah, I need to do it because merch is a big, because dude, look, shit, even at the Atlanta show.
You would have tripled
Dude,
your money.
I mean, dude, there was I think it was 105 in there, 101, something like that at the Atlanta. I bet 70 people fucking stayed and took pictures.
Yeah.
I could have moved all them fucking shirts. So merch is a big part of it. It's just fucking traveling with it. But yeah, the drop ship thing should be good.
Yeah, and will they arrange it a pickup in the city of what doesn't
They'll
sell?
send it right to the club. Oh no! Oh, the pickup, like to sit back. Oh no, I haven't even thought about that. I'm gonna talk to them tomorrow. When I
What
get
doesn't
home.
sell?
Yeah, I mean that way I don't have to travel back with it.
Yeah, I mean
You know
that's
what
the
I'm
bitch. I've never seen you pack this light in my life. This little suitcase you got right here.
Ah, dude, I'm getting tired of fucking having check
You
bags.
look like
and-
you lived out of it.
I'm
You usually
starting
look like
to.
you live out of your.
No, if I'm
suitcase.
like on like a big weekend run, like next week is Bactavia in Illinois, the Chicago club, the Comedy Vault up there, and I've heard it's a great club, and fucking I'll take a big bag, of my own shit, because when I'm stationary, like I'm staying in that hotel for the whole weekend, it's easier just to bring a check bag there versus like we got to drive everywhere doing different spots. I just hate carrying all that shit.
Yeah, shirts are the worst. So you should get something better,
Yeah.
like handcuffs, airbrush shirts, or just any kind of t-shirts are a nightmare, dude. I know they sell, but that's the thing I would do. I would carry your koozies. What's his name? Brantley Gilbert carries brass knuckles, dude.
Sells them.
Sells them at concerts.
Don't you have to get in order to? Ain't that like a firearm? Don't you
I
have
would
to have, like,
I would think
yeah.
they wouldn't let you. They make you return your purses and stuff
That's
if
what
they're
I'm
too
saying.
big at
Yeah.
a concert. But he gets away with selling them. Maybe it's out in the parking lot.
Yeah, he's just selling brass knuckles in the park.
But they're like $200, and he sells a
dude.
shitload
Merch
of
is when people like it. They like. That's why I like the Patreon, dude. My Patreon's, College Burnout Boys, I was over there with them. They put a bunch of extra content up on their Patreon. They're doing like $1 a month. I said, "You're doing $1 a month?" I said, "Fuck it, a month's $15 a month."
Yeah, it's costing them a lot to shoot all that,
That's what I'm
doesn't it?
saying. I got like $15 a month. I got like 500 or 600 fucking.
What is the cut? What do they do? Just they lapel you and you're walking around talking shit while you're playing baseball?
Yeah, so they have like, dude, they got it. It's grown. They've got, and like they did a season, like a men's rec league season, and they show all the games, and they put like a camera in one dugout, the other dugout. They have 3 camera guys with handhelds. So they got like a behind the shot batter's box. You can see them hit the ball with pitcher pitching, side view of just the pitchers. And then they got handhelds guys going out in the field. So like it's just talking shit. It's wild. It's a good concept. They're fixing to do like the WBC, like the World Baseball Classic. They're fixing to do their version of it. It's going to be the blacks, the whites, the Asians, and the Mexicans play each other in a tournament.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, that's brilliant. Because like he does shit like, it's just like men, they're like all guys that are freshly out of college or like we're in the pros and don't play anymore. And then like, dude, that first guy I'm taking in a bat against, he's throwing like, 82, which is still fast. And then one of the guys,
You were swinging against 82 pitches?
dude, and I hit it right up the middle and got thrown out. Like I hit it to the short. I mean, I got in there. I was
Just
taking
the fact you made
bro.
contact
And
with
then,
an 80.
then the third pitcher that other team had this big, he's 6'7", this big old lanky, long Randy Johnson looking motherfucker. He's throwing 92, 93. And I'm like in that bat, and dude, he throws
go to
one.
swing and it's already
dude,
in the,
and I
it's in the
swung and I
net.
missed. Dude, then the next one threw, it almost hit me in the head. I fucking fell down. And I got pissed after that. And so I just stepped in. I said, fuck it. If he throws it down the middle of the head. Dude, I made contact with it, hit it hard as fuck to the first baseman. I was late on it, but I fucking clunked right. He bobbled it, but he still got me out. I was right at him. But yeah, I connected with 93.
Dude, that's almost impossible.
Dude, but I used to play baseball back in the day.
I did too, but when they started throwing trash, I couldn't hit it. I was telling your boy that the other night. I was like, man, I played baseball my whole life. And then once people started throwing trash, I pivoted into golf.
What do you mean trash?
Like
Curveballs and shit?
all that shit. Man, I remember jumping out of the batter's box because it was coming in my damn head. And he's like, and I was like, get the fuck out of here with the strike, dude. There's no way it was coming because go back and watch. It curved in.
And I watched, it had one big boy on their team, that boy West, big redheaded motherfucker. And like he stands up like straight when he takes his bat. He's like 3 for 3, done hit like 2 doubles, like just a fucking man. And that dude that's throwing hard throws a pitch, he takes it, throws the next pitch, fucking right at him. Doesn't duck out way, just turns around, fucking just wears it.
That's what I'm saying. When you're a
Wears
kid
it.
and you get hit by a fastball, dude, it spooks you for fucking the rest of the game for sure, if not the rest of your life, man. Getting stung by 92.
Right.
Is that guy consistent at 92? Like,
He was throwing it all day long.
But was he throwing it wild?
Yes, and that's what scares me.
I know, that's crazy. It's one thing if he's consistent 92 down the middle where he wants to send it. But
I was
if
just glad I hit it. I touched it.
he almost hit you though?
Fuck yeah, I ducked. Like it was at my head. If I don't duck, it hits me in the head. I fell down and everything.
That's gonna be a clip.
It's gonna be so great because the next one I come up and I fucking hit it, and then I go to pitch the next inning. I have not live game pitched.
Your arm was killing you, I bet.
Oh yeah, I was like, I got about 30 pitches in me, boys, and that's it. And we've got a 4-run lead. We're beating them 8-4. I get up there. It's the top of the lineup though, and it's last inning. And the kid that comes to bat against me, okay. When I went up there and shot content with him the first time, we were just in the cages on the simulator. So if you hit it, it tracks at what stadium you're in, like if it would be a hit or not.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it was super cool. And I went up there to pitch to this kid, and he took me deep. And he was the first batter for that team that I faced. And he knows what I'm coming with. I got a fucking fastball, changeup, and a little slurve or something. And dude, I'm like, this guy's he's gonna, and dude, I struck his ass out on 4 pitches. I threw 1 strike, 1 ball, threw a strike, and got a swinging fucking changeup strike, struck him the fuck out. And I go, hey, shit, I get off the mound, I go, you know why they charge cover at the front door? Because I'm him. Dude, and then they proceeded to shell me. Yeah, like, I threw one, he hit it in the deep hole at second base. Oh boy dived, he almost got it. Then they hit it to first base, kind of went around him. And then I did the floodgates open. We wound up tying the game. Like they tied, and I was like, I'm 30 pitching. I go, guys, I threw 1 because then I started shortening it because my arm, every time I throw it, I'd feel that beak. And I'm like, oh God. And then finally I was like, yo, pull me and get me out. It was tied, and then we did a fucking home run derby. We wound up winning on the home
I was about
run.
to say, did they do a derby style thing where you could really start hitting dingers?
Yeah, they let us get out there and take a whack. But dude, hitting with them wood bats, oh my God. Because we're using wood bats.
Right.
Like, I hit with aluminum the first 2 at bats, but then like most of the guys use wood bats. And I took a wood bat up there against that dude throwing fucking.
It's heavier, is that what you're
Yeah, it's heavier and like the sweet spot is more condensed. So if you hit it on the thin part of the bat, which when that boy was throwing 93 and I swung late, I still hit it on the inside part of the bat, so it's like a shocker.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
I thought I broke my thumb. It fucking shocked my hand so hard. My hand was sore for 3 days.
That's crazy. He said the Savannah Banana guys don't fuck with him.
Well, because he's too fucking fuck you and your mom.
Oh,
fucking,
he is?
yeah, they hate that. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
because
I'm sure
they're with Disney. They're with Hulu.
Who is?
Fucking like Savannah and Anna's like they're like partners with Disney. And
You
shit.
watched one of their games?
Yeah, they're great.
They're great,
Yeah,
man. They're
great.
really
They're
good.
great.
It's really fun to watch. All right, well, let's go get ready. Let's go do shows. Thank you for doing this. And yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, that is the episode with Uncle Lazer. Thank you so much for watching. I want to throw this out there while I've got your attention. We don't have an outro, and we certainly don't have an intro for this podcast yet. So if you're creative and want to make one, it could be like 10, 12 seconds. Doesn't have to be long at all. But submit it to comedybreakin205@gmail. I'd appreciate it. I'll be looking in my inbox waiting for you to send something, okay? Anyway, that's the episode. Come see me this Saturday night with J-Dubs and Wood Delane down in Mobile, Alabama at Oyster City. It's free to get in, so make sure you get there early and get you a seat. You can go to imdavidlynam.com for more information and all my tour dates coming up. And we'll look forward to seeing y'all in the next episode.